fam.news.
We are back from Las Vegas market. Everybody's experience is so different because Vegas is just full of sensory overload. So what is it like to be behind the scenes with the fam, navigating Las Vegas market? We have the full scoop, and my favorite podcast host of all time, co-host is here, my wife, Tara Kinsley, and the fam podcast starts right now. Hey, are you a mattress retailer looking to supercharge your business? Introducing Podium, your secret weapon. I use it, I'm a huge fan of it, and with Podium's AI-powered lead conversion, you can engage with customers in seconds via text, making it feel like they're talking to a friend. But hey, that's just the beginning. Podium offers texting, payments, reviews, website chat, and more, all in one place. You've got to be the most responsive retailer to help customers solve those sleep problems in the moment. Harness the power of Podium today and start growing your business. Visit podium.com right now to learn more.
Welcome to the FAM Podcast with Mark Kinsley. This is where the best in the bedding business get even better.
Right now. Hey fam, welcome to the podcast. This is the Monday after Las Vegas market, and we were in full form during market. Oh my gosh. First of all, welcome to my lovely co-host, Tara Kinsley.
Hi.
Also the director of events, the cool aunt of the fam. What else? You probably have more titles.
Probably not.
How do you think others describe you?
I don't know.
Come on, let's just make a guess.
Let's not and say we did. But I am excited to talk about Las Vegas market. I felt like this year, I loved it. I had so much fun. It was exciting. It was so busy.
I heard from so many people it was the busiest, best market in history.
I mean, definitely post-COVID, 100%. So it was just fun to like feel the energy when you walked into market. I just felt it felt different.
Well, it definitely felt different too, because I mean, market is sort of like you got to muster up like all your energy and all your strength sometimes, especially when you're hosting a bunch of events or you're putting together a showroom. And like we left on Thursday because we went out early so that we could teach the accelerator lab with Tara Phelps and our mattress mentorship mastermind group. And like going into it, you were hopping on the plane like, oh man, like my sinuses are messed up. And then being in a cigar tube in the air made it worse.
Yeah, we'll have to tell the funniest story about that here in a little bit. But
ooh,
yeah.
nice tease on that. I like it.
We got in Thursday and just took off running Friday morning with our event, and it was phenomenal. I love those events because they are intimate. People really open up. We actually had a smaller group this time. We had about 12. And I was a little bit nervous about that, but it turned out probably being the most conversational, the most intimate, the most one of the most rewarding sessions that I feel like we've ever hosted. So that was just an incredible way to kick off market.
Yeah, for those that don't know, the Mattress Mentorship Mastermind, it's one of those things that I've always thought, man, there's a lot of stuff that goes on with big anchor events like Las Vegas Market or Sleep Summit or Dream Camp. What about the space and the time in between? How do we make sure that we continue to connect? And so the program is all about that. And what we've decided over the past year is we need a heavy dose of AI. So we go so deep on ChatGPT and using AI and the technology tools that are so much easier to access. And we had the amazing Tara Phelps, who is a Las Vegas native. She teaches AI, and we got just people's hands in the clay and doing things. And then that night, we had a little happy hour and we had dinner at Carmine's. And by the way, we're giving you sort of what is it like to be the fam at Vegas Market. And we're going to be talking about the products, the showrooms, what we saw, what we noticed. But we're kind of doing it chronologically because there's so much chaos at Vegas. We're like, let's just go in order.
Yeah, it makes it a little bit easier. But the dinner at Carmine's was incredible. First of all, I was a little nervous about booking Carmine's because it is a chain. It's not like a huge chain. I think there's maybe 4 or 5 in the United States. But And I love to like book local and I love to kind of book unique things, but it was really good. Not only was the food delicious, but the space they put us in was, pretty private. So we had 19 for dinner and it was fun. So little shout out if you guys are looking for a spot to host a dinner in Vegas. Carmine's was incredible. They do it family style, which I also was a little bit nervous about. I'm always just super conscientious post COVID. I know everybody has different feelings about sharing things. I, for one, we'll dive in. If you have a beautiful looking cocktail, don't hesitate to give me a sip of it because I definitely want to try it.
Alcohol kills everything.
Right,
it's fine.
But I also want a bite of that cake too. But I don't know. I just want to be conscientious. But it turned out wonderful. And
I have to say, Carmine's, by the way, is in the Caesar. So if you're looking for Carmine's, it's in the Caesar it's in Caesar's at
the Forum and their Forum
in the
shops,
Forum shops. Yeah. And at one point, like the first course was like this pasta and meat sauce course. And I was sitting next to Matt Smith from Snooze and he's like, we're just chowing down. Like this is the meal, but that was just like the pasta course. And then I look over and it looks like somebody brought a cinder block and placed it on the table. And I'm like, and they had a giant knife like shoved down into it because you couldn't cut this thing with a regular knife. Was it eggplant?
It was eggplant parmesan, and it was a very beautiful cinder block.
It was that big. I'm like, man,
it was huge.
This is a weapon if you want it to be.
Yeah, and so I did feel like, holy cow, we left so much on the table. But it was super fun, and that was a really great way to kick off market, just reconnecting with our friends and having a great meal before we dove in head first 100% on Saturday.
Yeah, because Saturday, in the past, we've done fam cams and people started reaching out and saying, hey, like we will invest if you will come with fam cam on Saturday. So for like a reasonable investment, people spend a ton of money to travel out there, hundreds of thousands of dollars, to use a showroom 4 times a year, maybe 8 times a year, 8 days a year. And so, having been on that side of things, I'm like, man, you better maximize your investment when you're out here. And so we floated the balloon like, hey, do you want fam cam to come out here? We're going to film. We're going to make it social and snackable. We're going to do an e-blast on Saturday so that day 0, more and more eyeballs get on it. And we sold out. Like
we
quickly.
did. And I loved that we were able to do it on Saturday because I got to where I felt like we were able to just chat with people more, spend a little bit more time because like we said earlier, by Sunday, I mean, it was packed in the best way. So
we started off with our friends at Esquire Advertising, which, by the way, shout out to Eric Grinley and Nick and Adam and Merritt and the entire team because they put together something that I think is truly innovative and groundbreaking. You'll have to reach out to them to get full details, but essentially it's a 50-50 co-op program, which means Esquire is going to match the 50% co-op spend, whether that comes from the retailer or the manufacturer. So a manufacturer can go to a retailer and say, we're going to put up 10 grand and we also have another 20 grand that's going to go toward this, or they can have it on the retail side of things. And there's a whole system they've put together to make this happen. But I think for the longest time, on the manufacturing side, at least, people want to figure out a way to invest in their retailers, but they want those dollars spent wisely. They want to make sure it's spent on their brand. And so they've come up with a no-brainer solution to develop this co-op program to put more dollars toward it. And I'll say on the backside of it, you're like, how does Esquire just like give you another 10, 20, 50, $100,000? Well, they collect so much data around mattress and furniture shoppers that they end up with what we might refer to as exhaust data. So extra data that they don't process and do anything with, but it's there. And so they figured out a way to monetize that and essentially sell it to hedge funds. So they're able to offset that cost and invest more in this category. So it's super cool.
It is super cool. And on top of all that, the guys and gals at Esquire are just good people. I mean, they're honest. They're easy to talk to. They're easy to get into contact with. I was working with them because they actually sponsored the FAM house party. They were one of our sponsors. And we'll talk about that later, which it was awesome.
It was a banger.
I mean, texting, email, just getting in contact with them is so easy. They explain things in just a really easy way for you to just understand. So I love those guys. Check them out for sure. But they are the ones who started out our fam cams on Saturday.
Yeah, and then we started getting into more showrooms and product stuff. I mean, David Binky at King Coil, you headed over there next. We got set up.
First of all, I love David so much. He's just a genuine person, and their showroom is always so impressive to me. It's one of the bigger showrooms that we go in, and they just have incredible product. Been around for such a long time.
I mean, a huge shout out to David Long.
Yes.
I mean, David Long, number one, is just a wonderful person, always has something so specific and genuine to say about what we're doing in the fam. And he, in my opinion, is the best product designer and product development guy that I've ever seen.
Everything's beautiful. And I mean, just thought out so well. So
yeah, and our friend Michael Sharp on the branding and marketing side of things. He's been working with them for years. Amazing job.
And Chris Tahini, he's new.
Chris Tahini in the saddle at King Coil.
Yeah.
Congrats, Chris.
After that, we headed to South Bay International with Toby.
Say it. Come on. Say his
life. And okay. Again, I've been in his showroom for a couple of years now. And the thing that I love the most about his showroom is that it's clean, it's bright, everything's natural. It looks so good. They do private label, and they just do a really beautiful job.
Yeah, the South Bay brand really doesn't exist online. So everything's private label. And I was talking to Toby about that because, they sort of have this menu of items that you can put your own brand on. They're going to make them. They're going to make them just in time. You don't have the holding and inventory costs. You can sell them online. Like, they have this really amazing motion mattress chair for people that have mobility issues, people that want to age in place. That thing is amazing. And on top of that, I went over and Edgar, their product guy, who's an awesome guy. We tried to play a little bit of NBA Jam, but I couldn't figure out the buttons. But right beside us was this incredible sort of blown apart, exploded view of an adjustable base. And it was up on the wall. It was hanging on the wall so you could visually see all the parts and pieces. And Edgar told me, you can just go choose from the base, sort of like a menu, and figure out what you want to put on it. Do you want USB? Do you want underbed lighting? Do you want massage? Do you want head up and foot up? So anyway, it's a really cool way to give the customer full control over the product story they wanted to tell and not have to do all that behind the scenes work.
Yeah. Next up was Dream Fit. And I have to say, they get the FAMI for fastest showroom turnaround on the planet. Shaylin Martin, who is their new, what is his official title?
President.
Okay. He launched a new bed line.
And by the way, Dream Fit is traditionally been a sheets, protectors, top of bed company. They didn't have mattresses.
So first mattress line. Not only is it their first mattress line, but it's also got this grounding technology, which is super cool. Basically takes like all the negative electricity that we build up in our body and displaces that once you lay on the mattress. And there's a very cool tactile way that he demonstrates that in the showroom. So that was just fun. He takes a light bulb and basically puts it on your hand and you're like, wow, I light up. So super cool to see that you've got some energy or electric energy in you. But the showroom was just really beautiful. Laura is a designer that he brought in, and we got to meet her. She did a lot of the design work, and she did just an amazing job. So I thought that was a really fun space to be in and just see the transformation. It was beautiful.
It was an absolutely breathtaking transformation. I totally agree. The showroom had clear messaging. Like you said, it had a mattress line. It had all the Dream Fit sheets displayed in kind of a unique way. But this grounding technology, for a long time, I've been in the industry for a long time, and back at Leggett, we would have people reach out about, springs, they're made of metal, and they were concerned about the electric charge in your body. And there were all kinds of like crazy ways to ground a mattress, but you really need to have an entire system because, static and electricity can build up on regular sheets. So DreamFit actually has this entire system, and they can show it with the data, the mattress, the protector, and the sheets. The entire system pulls that electric charge away from your body, and they've got data to show how that's happening. And if you have that electric charge in your body when you're sleeping, it disrupts your sleep. So that's the whole point. And gosh, what a unique story to tell. And congratulations. Like you said, they get the FAMI definitely for huge transformation, short amount of time. So congrats to Chaylin and the entire team at DreamFit.
Yeah. And then we went and saw Dan Sardinia at Logic Data. Super cool story.
Yeah, Dan, gosh, I tell you, Logic Data has done so much to bring great technology, great adjustable bases, and put it in a really tiny box. So it's easy to ship, but also easy for the consumer to put together. So I know they support a lot of different mattress programs, like direct-to-consumer programs, where you want to have an adjustable base, but that's not your core competency. And then they have sort of the more traditional side over on Dream Motion, but a great innovative company, wonderful people, Parker and Victor and Dan and the entire crew. Thank you for always being so welcoming and for sharing your innovation with us. So, big shout out, big applause. And I know they continue to make waves in that space of like, hey, everybody wants to see if they can shove it down in the size of a bowling ball if they could.
And we've got a couple more. I mean,
but people want to hear about the products.
I know they do. And Saturday was just packed. And so, I loved seeing everybody. It feels like we were fast and furious, but also it was just, for me, the best thing was getting to reconnect with everybody and chat with everybody and just see everybody. Cause I do feel like they're my friends and family. Bed Tech was next. Bed Tech has been, with us from the beginning of Sleep Summit. We actually sleep on their adjustable base.
The B6500, shout out.
Zero gravity is my absolute fave thing to do. My dog loves it too. He kind of gets like in the nook between like the head and the feet.
Except at the very beginning, like when you start raising the foot.
You definitely have to kind of hold him down.
He's like, whoa, what's happening? Where am I going? This is an elevator. And then he's like, oh, I just kind of like gently roll into the nook.
Yeah, he loves the nook. But yeah, Bed Tech's what we've got for our adjustable base. So shout out to Justin Trumbo and Darren Sparks. And we always have a fun time with them. They are just so welcoming. Something that I love about them is, they're standing at their door, just welcoming everybody in. Hey, come on in. So they're always fun to come and, go and visit and chat with.
And I'll give them the FAMI for the only showroom that put together a staged blooper reel, which much respect.
Yeah, it's going to come out on LinkedIn. Check our LinkedIn page for and our Facebook page for the blooper. It's pretty cute. Next is something I'm super, super excited about, really interested in. Todd and Tara Youngblood have come out with a new mattress. It's Jelly Sleep. They also have pillows, but the mattress is what I'm really excited about for a couple of reasons. Number one, it is basically when you put a pressure map on the mattress and you lay on it, it shows zero pressure. It's kind of a hybrid between a traditional mattress and a waterbed. Also, it's roll pack. So there's so many reasons to love this bed. Try this bed. Oh, and I forgot, it's cooling too. And not like cooling, it's kind of cooling. Like Tara explains it so well. Go back and watch her fam cam. I mean, it's like
the podcast episode I did.
Yes,
with her. I had Tara Youngblood on the podcast, and she breaks it down. Like her mind for science and physics and the mechanics of this thing is incredible. I will say, I'll give it a stab here. So it's got 1,000 times more gel than any mattress, at least 1,000 times. And what that gel does, like in this industry, we talk a lot about heat dissipation, but what if you had enough thermal mass that you could trap that heat and it pulls it away from your body and you could never put off enough heat that this thing couldn't trap it? That's what's happening. So they've completely disrupted the mindset around cooling, and the gel, there's so much gel in there, traps the heat, keeps it away from your body. And like Tara said, they put a pressure mapping blanket on top of it and it showed no pressure. Like this is, if I was going to put my money on anybody to be the most disruptive in this industry and the most innovative, it's going to be Todd and Tara.
Yeah, they just keep coming out with like new awesome things. And obviously they are like the king and queen of cool because they did Chili Pad before. So they've been in this space for a while. They know exactly what they're talking about. And it's just an exciting product. I'm excited to see like what it does. And laying on it felt really cool and awesome. Cool as in awesome, but cool as in chilly as well. And I'm excited too. Mark is a really hot sleeper, which is awesome in like January. He's like a Yule log. But in July, it's like, oh my gosh, he puts off a lot of heat.
It's funny you say that because I don't feel like I'm like waking up hot.
To the touch, you're hot.
You are like, okay, I'm cold. I have to be next to you, the Yule log.
Exactly. Like I'll roll closer or farther away depending on if I'm hot or cold. But you are smoking, baby, in the bed.
All right. let's just put that on loop. I'm gonna put
okay. Sarah and Sean Bergman, Pure Care. I mean, the Dr. Weil sheets are everything. Literally everything.
It's everything we own.
I have 4 sets of them. I have 2 of their duvets. I have 3 of their blankets, all from the Dr. Weil set. I cannot say enough about how much I love their top of bed. Not only do I love their top of bed, I also love the 2 of them. I mean, they are just incredible human beings. I always have so much fun. Sarah, I always call her our one take wonder because she is incredible on camera. She's just like, and I'm done. So she is always a great time to do fam cams with, easy. And they always have great products. They have a great story. I mean, they're sourcing globally, which I think is just, so smart right now, because we saw what happened with the supply chain in 2020. So they really have their finger on the beat of how to continue making incredible products and making sure it never stops. So I love spending time with them. I love their product. I love doing fam camps with them. I love their showroom. And I learned that Sean and Mark have one of the same addictions, which is LaCroix. I told Mark that he drinks LaCroix like water, and he was like,
yes,
they
are water.
Yeah, but it's water that's like very much not.
And we're also like, semi-professional dog. Sean like 10x me, but he actually got me hooked up with the guy that he follows online, Mike Ritland. And so I've been using Sean's dog training framework with Jax, and how's he doing?
Jax is doing so well. I mean, he really is. Like, if you guys come to Sleep Summit, and you should, you'll see Jax and you'll just be like, I can't believe what a well-behaved dog he is.
We just have to work on like the overstimulation, like music and loud noises. Like he's getting better though.
Yeah, he is.
Because he kind of lives in a little semi-neo-urban environment, and like there's construction, like Bentonville's on the move.
There is.
But thank you, Sean and Sarah. Like you said, Sarah's a one-take wonder. Sean, go back and listen to the podcast episode I did with Sean. It was his first podcast he'd ever done. And it's, right here in the Fan Podcast, and they had an incredible market. Tons of people in the showroom.
Oh my gosh. Always.
Wonderful display as always.
Yeah. And I mean, I love seeing new showrooms, and I love learning about new product, but this is just one of those tried and trues that I'm always just so excited to go back to. And I just, what they do is really incredible. All right. Paramount Sleep. First time. They are actually in the same showroom as Pure Care and
Knickerbocker,
yes. Mm-hmm. And it was the first time that we had done a fam cam with them. Guys, I was blown away by their beds. They are beautiful. So pretty. Richard Fleck, he was so great to talk to. And his story is great. They are the second longest owned. Wait, I said that wrong. Second longest
family owned.
Yes. I'm like, what is the adjective that needs to go in between owned? Second longest family owned business in the United States.
Family owned business or mattress?
I'm sorry, mattress business.
Gotcha.
Sorry, we're talking about mattresses. So their story is great. They have beautiful product. I loved being able to experience them for the first time. It was really, really special.
And I was in there and I look over and there's Alan Beard and Matt and the crew from Beard, because Paramount is the US licensee for Beard. And having had Alan just recently appear on the podcast and hearing that incredible family story of which he's fourth generation in Australia. And now they're a global company, incredibly successful. And of course, Paramount is the licensee. So they're making the Beard beds here domestically. It was just, everything came full circle at that moment. And I can't thank Alan enough for being on the show and telling that story, but also Richard for taking us through their lineup. And you're right. I just looked around. I'm like, these are absolute works of art.
I mean, tufting and pinstripes and the colors, like they have this beautiful navy blue bed, and I love navy blue. They have an anniversary bed that's gorgeous. And I mean, on top of all that, they have one bed that has 10 layers in it. I could go on and on. And they use natural fibers and obviously hybrid springs and foams. But they're just, I mean, it's just really good product. So I didn't know much about them, and now I'm kind of a super fan. So it was really fun to experience that.
You just get to pollinate everywhere. You're like, I'm here, I'm seeing all the products.
I love it.
You pretty much, I think sometimes Tara comes home from these things and she's like, okay, I've got my list of things I want now.
Yeah.
But we're acquiring.
Yeah.
the perfect dialed in sleep system.
I kind of want like our house to be like this. I don't want to call it a sleep museum because I want it to be things that are like actively out in the market right now. But
an interactive sleep experience.
Yes. Oh, yes. So all of our bedrooms can have all the fun things in them, and I love it. And I feel like we're definitely on the way.
We're on the way.
Yeah. Sometimes people come over and, the next morning I'm like, crap, all of our beds are unmade because Mark's like, lay on this one. Do this. Here's a pillow. So anyway, it's not that awkward.
We teach them about sleep. So we're like, yeah, we had some friends over and they're like, we need a new mattress. I was like, well, I have some of these, back when I was with Englander, I have some of these locally. And they went up and they lay down on the top of the duvet. And I'm like, no, get in the bed, take your shoes off. So I'm taking their shoes off. I'm like, nobody sleeps in their shoes. So you gotta be careful when you come over.
Yeah.
You're gonna get something new, but it's always gonna benefit you.
All right. We've got 3 more fam cams to talk about.
3 more. Run them down. We've got First Direct, our friends at First Direct Marketing. Their technology powers so much of the fam. Joel and Audrey Boer, incredible people, the best customer service for a marketing agency I've ever experienced, and I've run agencies. But they have First Direct 360, this power pack technology platform that does email and CRM, and you can put together websites and landing pages, and you can manage so much of your business so that you can scale up. It has been hugely impactful for us. And so they were at the Specialty Sleep Association space with our good friend Tambra. We love you, girl.
Also, Audrey and Joel, thank you for letting us hang out there. Thank you for letting us kind of just be in your space. And like Mark said, their customer service is unmatched. I mean, there are a lot of things that they offer technology-wise that I have not been familiar with, and they are always willing to sit down and Zoom with me, send me looms, chat with me on the phone, and walk me through it. So one of my favorite parts about Connect 360 is that it has been user-friendly, even when it's not user-friendly, if that makes sense. Because of that.
It's exactly like, hey, this is the goal. This is what I want to do. I can't find it within Connect 360 because it has everything. I mean, it's Swiss Army knife. They're like, oh, cool. No, let's hop on a Zoom. Bing, bang, boom. They walk us through it. We learned as we went along. And that way we're empowered to do it next time and build on those ideas. We also use it for tons of automation. Like if you apply to Dream Camp, you get an automatic email with all the next information and a series of emails and a text message and things like that, just to, let you know what's going to happen as you apply. By the way, Dream Camp San Antonio, April 8th to the 11th, taking applications now. Hernani Alves, former president of Sleep Train, is our guide in residence. Quick plug.
And also so much fun, guys.
Yeah.
At Therapeutic was our last fam cam on Saturday.
Jerry Borgini, Kyle Borgini, Susan, the entire crew. You're amazing. You've just been in this game for so long, continuing to serve people, come up with great products. You have an incredible licensee network, and just awesome people.
Also, they have the cutest, most beautiful new Tommy Bahama line. I was like, oh my gosh, I am I will do beach vacations over any vacation all the time. I mean, I do like to ski and all the things, but like I want to be warm. And I just felt like, oh man, if I had a flowery bed, it would just put me in that headspace of just being at the beach, like a flowery bed, a noisemaker that had the beach going on. I could drink like a pina colada every single night. I would just be in my happy space, crank up the heat.
So it sounds like they did a good job on selling the lifestyle.
They did. It was beautiful.
Which that's what Tommy Bahama is.
Yeah, they were very pretty.
Oh, speaking of Tommy Bahama, I have a quick retail tip. So you and I were doing the advanced work for Dream Camp Palm Springs. You remember this?
Yes.
And they had a Tommy Bahama restaurant. And we're like, Tommy Bahama restaurant? Like, is that going to be any good?
It was good.
Well, food was really good. And the genius part too was you got a coupon for 25% off the retail store, which was attached. But you had to use that 25% off that day. And I thought, man, that would be a really cool thing. And then I was like, well, how do you have a mattress store that has a restaurant? But how many mattress stores are in strip malls or locations with restaurants nearby? Maybe you could form a partnership. But I thought that was really clever because you had the Tommy Bahama meal. It was great. And you had to use the 25% off that day. And what did I do? I bought something.
Yeah, I did too.
Do you remember that shirt I have? Like the deserty.
Yeah, it's kind of that sweatshirty thing.
Yeah, it's good.
All right. And then last but not least, our dear friends at Ergo Motion. Nicole Slinger, I have known her for years. She is such an amazing woman. And unfortunately, due to my sinus infection, I was not there to film that day, but I did allow Mark to take over. And
Nicole, she's head of product and marketing, vice president of product and marketing now at Ergo Motion. And she's working with my good friend Guy Perez, who's the CEO, and Alex and their entire team. And she really created, just aesthetically, it's the most beautiful adjustable base I've seen. And of course, it has all the bells and whistles, and it's made out of recycled plastic bottles. That's the entire fabric. So it has a great green story. But Nicole, just so articulate, such a visionary, and such a wonderful person.
She is.
And just thank you, as always, for letting us come in. And thank you to everybody for letting us, the fam, be part of telling your amazing story, because there are so many incredible stories in this industry. And I heard person after person say this was the best market we've ever had. And I love seeing that injection of energy into 2025 as we get started.
And to top off the best market that you've ever had, if you were at the fam house party, that was probably the cherry, I'm hoping, on your ice cream sundae or your coconut cream pie or your Black Forest chocolate cake, whatever you prefer. But we had the most incredible time. I just love reconnecting with our community, and I love having the fam house party as a way to just let loose, have fun. And we did meet some new people. Our house party is a coin holders event. So if you have a coin, you're automatically invited, and we ask you to bring a guest. And our coin holders showed up in force with just incredible people. So we got to reconnect with our old dear friends that we love, and we got to meet a lot of new people and just have a hell of a time. It was so fun.
Yeah, there were confetti cannons, there was karaoke, there was a sunken bar, which people are like, that bartender is on his knees. No, he's just sunken. But by the way, the party itself, we kind of glossed over coin holder.
We did.
So a coin holder is somebody who goes to Dream Camp. You get a once in a lifetime commemorative coin that has all kinds of meaning and significance attached to it. And then you also become a coin holder if you join our M Cubed, our Mattress Mentorship Mastermind program. And that unlocks access to different fam events and different kind of insider tracks within the fam, which is really fun.
Oh, you forgot about the roaming photo booth.
Oh, roaming photo booth.
So you guys have to check out our LinkedIn page, Facebook or Instagram, and those pictures will be posted today. And if you were at the party, the album will be sent to you as well. So
yeah, and the roaming photo booth was so much fun. We have almost a couple hundred pictures that were taken. And by the way, when you walk into the party, it was at a 4,000 square foot suite on the top floor of the Bellagio. So many people had never been in that type of space, and they're filming and walking around. They're like, oh my gosh, there's podium pong. And so we had this entire podium sort of beer pong set up in the dining room area. And our friends from Podium were there in full force and made some incredible connections. Sarah Bergman, by the way, with Pure Care, she is a very competitive podium pong player. I was like, okay, this is next level. And then, Nate Kangemi and Samuel Utt singing karaoke, Mark Desjardins singing karaoke. And
Total Eclipse of the Heart. That's his song, guys.
Lead this off, baby.
You know what would be cool is if somebody karaoke challenged Mark Desjardins to Total Eclipse of the Heart, and then like we voted on who was the best, because Desjardins sings that song everywhere he goes. I mean, I think I've seen anytime I've ever traveled with him, he's there singing that song. So I'd love somebody to step up and challenge him on it.
Once upon a time, I was falling in love.
Okay, we're gonna do it right now. Also, it was super fun. Esquire, Giga Cloud, Wonder Sign, they sponsored the bar, and everybody got koozies. They both, Giga showed up with a ton of people. They were awesome to meet, a lot of new people, obviously a lot of people that we met before that are just wonderful. Esquire also brought the heat. So it was such a great party.
There were like 150 people there. Like I looked around at one point, I'm like, I was proud papa, because I'm like, the fam is growing. There's so many new people. I met Erica, who's an incredible lady, vice president of marketing at Ashley. And I was like, this is where I want to be. It's like the ultimate life hack to be able to bring amazing people together and then continue to meet new people through the vehicle of this incredible industry. Just our hearts are full.
Very full. All in all, I mean, for me, best market yet.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Even though you had like this sinus infection and you had a 7-foot doctor come to the room?
I did. And I don't know if we have time for that story, but that
Oh, come on. You got to tell the story. Tara, there's a doctor on staff at the Bellagio, and she went to the CVS like minute clinic thing, and they didn't give her any good medicine. She needed like something to really.
I needed like a Z-Pack or, prednisone or something like that. And so my sister, she was like, well, I'm sure a hotel like that has a doctor on staff. And I like never thought about that. So it was funny. She actually called and she's like, I figured it out. Here's the number you called. Here's the number you need to call. I just hung up when I got to like a certain point. So anyway, she figured this whole thing out. Dr. Mayer, he comes to your room.
With a security guard.
Yes, with a security guard and a big suitcase full of supplies. He only takes cash. So no insurance. A little shady there, but that's okay. And all of his supplies were cold because he had left them in the car. So the security guard was like putting them next to the heater. He like cranked up the heat in my room to 80 and like rubbing them and like trying to make the thermometer work and the blood pressure cuff. Anyway, long story short, regardless of the methods of Dr. Mayer, I did get some medication and it did help me so that I was able to show up 100% for the fam house party on Monday. So I was thankful to him. If he ever finds his way to this podcast, thank you, Dr. Mayer.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Mayer. We've been working with the Bellagio for several years. And, for the longest time, I'm like, is that my home hotel? It 100% is now. We love Kendall, who is on the luxury services side of things and helped us with the party in the hotel. And like, I can't say enough. And I feel like adults work at the Bellagio.
Yeah.
Like it's run by professionals and adults and it's clean and you don't notice things that are weird and out of place. It's
Also,
just a great property.
They don't care how many people we have at the fam house party. But don't tell anybody. So anyway, fabulous market. Hey, I'm so thankful for everybody I got to chat with and spend time with. And I can't wait to see many of you at Dream Camp. I can't wait to see many of you at Sleep Summit. Hopefully all of you.
Yeah. Great market. Thank you everybody for being so welcoming.
Have a great week.
And going hard in the paint with us. Share this with a friend, put it out on social. Make sure you send it to all your friends that may not be connected to the FAM podcast. And a special huge thank you to our director of events, the love of my life, my lovely wife, Tara, for making everybody feel so welcome. I know that when the vote happens on who's the favorite Kinsley, you win 99 to 100. And the only one person that's the outlier is just a little confused. They haven't quite made it. They're like, I don't know. They're both pretty nice. You're amazing. Okay. Hey, have a great week. We will see you back every Monday right here on the FAM podcast.